had come from pretty long ago, but we hadn't really validated this until the Webb telescope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the Webb telescope, we've now basically um, we now understand that this one galaxy that we're seeing is actually light from 13 and a half billion years ago.
Oh.
And what that means is that the light we're seeing is only 400 million years or so removed from the Big Bang. So it's that close to the Big Bang, right? And to give you an idea of that, we've had life on Earth, like more complex life on Earth, for over 400 million years. So that is super close to the Big Bang. And we're probably getting to a point where we're going to be able to see more and more actual light from the Big Bang.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so we'll get actually like essentially we'll get data from the Big Bang.
Okay,
And that is
so
that's pretty mind blowing.
that's crazy because that has the potential to just like redefine so much of what we currently think, right? Because whenever we talked about the
Yeah.
muons being unstable, because there's likely some kind of like fifth um law that we haven't identified as to like what actually makes the universe work.
Yeah.
We discover that by learning more information, like stuff that you just said. So that's super
We
exciting.
Yeah, we do know from recent advancements that the notion of local things being locally real and all that, we know that at a quantum level, um, what essentially happens to those, what essentially happens to atoms here affects actual atoms elsewhere. Um, we don't know to what extent, and we're still sort of discovering things in this realm. But
Hmm.
there's an interconnectedness that we know exists that we didn't understand before. And that means that this light we're seeing and this data we're seeing from right after the Big Bang is actually um, can actually be affected by potentially could be affected by us today. That's how interconnected we are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
I'm sure you guys saw the news about India getting to the south side of the moon, right?
yeah, that was they landed it softly too.
Wild.
Yeah, I
India.
mean let's be
Wait,
fair.
was it crewed or was it just like a module?
It was unmanned. Yeah, it was just a module.
Oh,
But
okay.
it landed soft. It landed softer than the Russians' unmanned spaceship did.
Okay. It's awesome.
That one that one landed really hard. We should laugh, but like, hey,
Dun
hu-
dun dun.
humans are prone to folly, so it's okay. We may, not everything we do works.
Yes. Gotta push the
Awesome.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wild.
Speaking of boundary pushing, let's talk about the store.
Whoa!
The best
Fuck!
segue I've ever heard. Yeah, let's do it. That's all you guys.
Go for
You
it,
want to go
man.
for it, Charlie? James?
No.
Okay,
Why
I'll
don't
go
Why
for it.
don't you go for it? No, you go
Okay,
for it,
I
man.
will.
Yeah.
Store is coming out today. Um,
Woohoo!
it's coming out at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And please insert your party emojis today. Yes. Um,
Woo woo woo
we've
woo.
been working on getting it stable, and we think it's stable. Uh, and so, yeah, we're going to go out with it. And it's basically just to kind of read off what will be supported. We have single card purchases, starter packs, dynamic pricing, You can purchase with BNB using your Binance wallet. Filter by specialty and resource production, and then you can also sell back cards for store credit. So it's all going to be in there, and you'll be able to add multiple items to the cart too, right? Like you'll be able to check out with multiple things, or are we
Yes,
adding that
yeah,
in
yeah.
later? Okay.
No. You can do you can do multiple items. Yeah.
Yeah.
All good.
So that's the big thing coming today, and so we're excited to roll it out. Everything's going to be at 10 cents per collection strength, right?
That's where it will start. But then based on sellbacks and that sort of thing, the dynamic pricing will kick in, and it could be lower or higher depending on the activity.
Yeah, so the 12 of you that are here are going to get a little bit of a insider scoop, I guess, because they all start at 10 cents. So there's going to be certain ones that will go down and certain ones that will go up, and you guys will be the first to use the system. So thank you for tuning into the AMAs every week to get that. Yeah. It's good. That's a good meme. So what else do we have going on? What are the other things?
So we actually have here, just a sec. Let me yeah, so we have let's see, what are some of the other things? We also we got the transaction ledger out last week. We actually fixed a couple of bugs for it as well to make it even more usable. So that was really cool. This is a kind of like it's a stage whisper to you, Hunter. Have we mentioned the new staking yet?
I think we did. I don't know.
Okay.
You guys tell us. It's hard to
Because
keep track.
So many things.
we're working on it. We're working on it now.
We can definitely probably like go through it if you guys. I think we shared it with a couple people, but since the group's pretty small, we can for sure just talk. Like I can share my screen and talk through the staking.
Yeah,
and how it looks.
let's do it.
Okay, cool.
The other things I was going to say was that we're still we're working on a number of other things as well, including the new mini game, the new version of the mini game, which we're just finishing up now, doing through the final testing. That's really cool. Made some colony development fixes you should see, so we should have a really good colony development experience this time. Got the awards nailed down, things like that. And we have two actually, I think, ending and starting today. So a lot of activity on the colony development front as far as that goes. And we're continuing to work on the new onboarding experience. But yeah, why don't we talk a little bit about the staking?
Woot.
Yes. Okay, staking is going to be improving. We're opening it up to resources. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see this? Say, put your favorite Russian moon landing emoji if you can see it, or meme.
Yeah, looks
Okay,
good.
awesome. So at the top, we basically will have your wallet. You can select your wallet, and then it will show you the APR for each type of staking that we offer, like the max APR, right up top, so you can quickly reference which pool you might want to go into. And then right below this is if you have active stakes, then those will be listed here, and it'll show you how many rewards you've accrued and how many rewards you've claimed. So we're simplifying a couple things. We just got the feedback, I think, pretty unanimously from the community that The multiplier system that we currently have is too complicated, so we're going to just simplify it. Basically, the way that it's going to work is you can add a commitment and then select a staking pool. That staking pool will pull up the pair tokens. And so for this one, it's Marsha Orr. And it'll show you the balance of the each of the tokens you have in your wallet and how much of the liquidity token you have. And then you can add a stake. And then for the staking itself, it's still going to be non-custodial, but we're simplifying it to just, you can do a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, or 12-month locking frame. And it's like a 1x multiplier for 1 month, 1.2 for 3 month, 1.5 for 6, and then 2.0 for 12 months. So this needs to be 2. Don't mind me. And so the way it will work is you just need to keep your liquidity tokens in your wallet for that time frame. If you don't, it's going to cancel out that. It's going to completely cancel out the rewards. So we'll have a warning if you try to remove liquidity from our interface. If you try to go and do it on Alcor and you, I mean, that's the only real issue is like you can't go remove liquidity on Alcor, and we can't like notify you that you're removing liquidity. So, you know, that's the only downside of non-custodial. But other than that, everything else I think is a huge upside. And so once you get the locking period over with, like in this case, you know, I staked 23 Waxmart for 12 months. This is my share of the pool. This is my accrued rewards. This is my projected APR. And then it'll show you kind of like our original staking system, how many days are left. And then once it's done, you can claim it. And this will just add this amount of Marsha to your in-game balance. So it's very similar to, I think, most staking systems that you're probably used to. And we wanted to just make it easier for people to understand. And then the other thing is, when you look at the resource staking pools, you can now contribute to each resource liquidity token, and you'll just get the rewards for that resource back. And this is coming from the withdrawal fee. So whenever you withdraw tokens to the blockchain, we take a 2% fee. And I believe we'll be just taking that 2% and just adding it to the liquidity staking pool for that resource. And so you'll open up, basically you'll have all 16 resources that you can add to. Each one will have its own APR, and that APR will be based on obviously the multiplier and also the amount of tokens that are essentially being withdrawn from the game, because that will determine the daily rewards. So yeah, that's pretty much the system. Let me know what you guys think. You're also going to have, we're messing around with how to actually show the claimed stakes in green and then the canceled ones in red. So if you withdrew your tokens, it would show in red. But yeah, we'll figure out how to represent this, but that's basically more of like an advanced thing. Okay. The reward of LP resource will be resource. Yes. It'll be the resource that you contributed to. For V2 staking, what we're considering doing is transitioning all of the active rewards to basically be the equivalent of a 1 month locking period in this new system. And then once that's over, people can basically decide to recommit that liquidity for a longer time, and it will rebalance some of the percentages a bit, but yeah, we would phase out the current version of staking. So it won't cause the overflow of resources because those resources, all of the resource faucets are coming now from the resource chain or it's just coming from the resource chain. And so the amounts of resources going into these pools are not being pumped into the economy with liquidity staking. So it's basically, what I'm saying is the supply of resources won't change with this. It's just right now we're taking a 2% withdrawal fee, and instead of us taking that 2% withdrawal fee, we will just send it straight to the staking pool. So nothing's gonna overflow. Yeah, so any other questions you guys have on that? Do you guys like it? Do you think it's an improvement? Because obviously what we're trying to do is add some liquidity to resource tokens so we can stabilize that, and then also make it clear to people that there's pretty good APR for Marsha staking. The multipliers will be reset to a 1x multiplier, but within this new staking system and locked for a month. So we're basically just going to make sure everyone continues to get rewards that have currently staked or like committed liquidity. And then once that 1 month is done, you can elect to do a 12-month or 6-month or whatever. And also this system, what I like about it is right now it's really hard to figure out how to add liquidity to resources. And so this makes it, I think, a lot easier to do because you can do it all in the interface. Okay, cool. What about V2 staking on BNB? Yeah, so that will be supported as well. You just change your wallet at the top, and you can, for the Binance Smart Chain, we're just going to have Marsha and Marsha BNB liquidity token staking like we do now. And 50% of the Marsha rewards are going to the Binance Smart Chain pool. So I think what people will see and realize is how much higher the APR is over on the Binance Smart Chain than it is on the Wax chain. So the current multiplier will be phased out because people think it's confusing, which I get. I mean, it's a different system, and we were trying to push the envelope a little bit and think we pushed a little too far. So the system will just reset. All of the V2 stakes will go to this new V3 system, and at the same sort of commitment amounts. and we'll just add them all as 1 month commitments at a 1x multiplier, unless you guys have a better idea. But that's just like the simplest thing for us as a development team, and it's not going to affect things too much. And then once that 1 month is done, you can decide if you want to do like a 12-month or 6-month or something longer to get a higher multiplier. Will Marsha V3 rewards come from the 2% only? No. I think we are going to reduce the amount of revenue redistribution that we're doing, because it's just not worth it to us to forfeit that revenue, and we need revenue to continue development. So we're probably going to rebalance that to like 80% of non-Marsha sales going to the company and 20% going to revenue redistribution. We're also, for store buybacks, why don't we just quickly discuss that? Because what we want to do is, right now, the system's coded so that it's 90% of the purchase price. But what we are going to do is push that to 100% of the purchase price. So it's sort of like truly a free market, like buying and selling would be the same price. And of course, the dynamic pricing will drive the price up or down based on if you're buying or selling. But then we're going to add a 5% wax transaction fee, which will basically be the same fee that you get on Atomic Hub or OpenSea. And it also helps us a lot because we're able to utilize that wax, to increase revenue. So the transaction volume, the trading volume of NFTs is it supports revenue more. No, you can't transfer store credit through accounts. So no more multi-accounting. Actually, you could do it, but it would be a lot harder. Yeah, so we've been looking at some of the data platform entries, and it's definitely super cool to see. So we're going to announce and organize the process with more of the organized science conventions that Ash is working on. So it's not mission critical for us right now. The game itself is fun and playable, and that is what we're focused on. And the data platform element is now stood up, and we can improve it over time. So really it becomes a marketing question and a process question. And so we're evaluating that, but we don't have the biggest team, so we can't do everything all at once. And we're probably going to push that down and what we're pushing up is working with partners. Like Ash was saying, we have a partner that we're going to be launching the minigame with next month. And we're also focusing a little bit more on some of the NFT sales with the new store.
Yeah. We also have, like, we've talked about the science convention thing with you guys a couple of times, and Mew, that's a big organized like marketing push with a bunch of exciting content around the data platform. Because I feel like we're in this phase right now where now that we have the data platform, we've kind of unlocked the ability for us to host these more scientific based conversations. And that for you guys is really exciting because now you get you get to hear from scientists the real science of what it takes in order to have a colony thrive on Mars, which is everything that you're doing when you're playing Colonize Mars. So the science convention is essentially a way for not only us to connect with those scientists, but also to figure out which of the proposals are the most accurate and something that we can legitimately implement. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening with that. We also have a partnership that we've been working on in the background as well. So you'll see both of those things happening in September. It just takes a lot of organization to pull both of those off because they're pretty big and intricate and will require multiple weeks of programming and content from us. September's a good month, and the pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks came back today, so I guess we're officially in the fall.
That's when you know. That's the official marker.
Yep. And Mew, yes, you will. You will be able to participate in science conventions. Think of the scientists almost like a panel of judges for the proposals that you guys have been creating. Yay! Glad to hear it. Charlie, your meme game is so strong recently.
I've been practicing.
Awesome.
All right. Any other kind of general questions before we wrap it up?
Looks pretty good to me.
All right, cool.
Well, yeah, thank you guys
Alright.
for coming. Appreciate it. Look forward to the Store V2 launch later today. And we'll see you next week.
Ashley, say it with confidence.
Dude, I'm I believe, okay?
Later today.
oh
That's
my
come
god.
on.
Somebody
All
help.
right, it's gonna happen. All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
I got
guys.
things to do.
We'll see you guys next week.